Hey everyone, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more awesome stories. Ilara's life was, by all accounts, pretty mundane. She worked a 9 to 5, enjoyed quiet evenings with a book, and her biggest adventure usually involved trying a new recipe. That all changed the night she laid down in her bed, the familiar scent of lavender linen spray filling the air, and instead of drifting into a typical dream, she opened her eyes to a world bathed in an unfamiliar, pearlescent glow. Her first thought was that she'd finally achieved lucid dreaming, but the crisp air, the distinct scent of ozone, and the sight of towering, iridescent flora she'd never seen before told her otherwise. When she touched a shimmering leaf, it felt real, cool, and undeniably solid. Panic flared, but before it could fully take hold, she was back in her bed, sunlight streaming through her window. Just a dream, she told herself, heart still thumping. But the dreams kept coming. Every night, the moment her head hit the pillow, she was hurled into a new reality. One night she was an astronaut on a distant, crimson planet, the next a medieval blacksmith's apprentice, then a jazz singer in a smoky 1920s club. There was no pattern, no logic, just a dizzying, disorienting series of leaps across dimensions and time. It was in a bustling, futuristic city, a symphony of holographic advertisements and flying vehicles, that she met him. His name was Jax, and he was an architect, his hands smudged with holographic ink, his eyes the color of a stormy sky. They met in a sky cafe, sharing a laugh over a spilled synthetic coffee, and something clicked. Days, then weeks, unfolded in that dimension, filled with late-night conversations about impossible designs, shared meals overlooking the glittering cityscape, and a quiet, profound connection that blossomed into love. Ilara felt a sense of belonging she'd never experienced in her own world. It was a love that transcended the absurdity of her situation, a love that made her fear her nightly jumps. She'd also begun to notice a peculiar rule. She never saw her parallel self. It was as if her presence in a new dimension temporarily erased the version of herself that already existed there, a cosmic courtesy. The thought of encountering another Ilara filled her with a strange dread, like looking into a funhouse mirror of her own existence. One night, however, in a quiet, idyllic timeline where horse-drawn carriages still traversed cobblestone streets, she saw her. A woman with her exact face, her hair the same shade of chestnut, walked past a bakery, a basket on her arm. Ilara ducked into an alley, her heart hammering. A close call. Then, just a few nights later, in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where survivors huddled in makeshift shelters, she saw another. This Ilara was hardened, her face streaked with dirt, her eyes wary. She was scavenging for supplies, a rifle slung over her shoulder. Ilara watched from the shadows, a shiver running down her spine. The encounter was unsettling, but she rationalized it as a statistical anomaly. The third time, it was undeniable. She found herself in a version of her own life, a small apartment that was almost identical to hers, down to the stack of books on the bedside table. Then she saw her. This Ilara was asleep in the bed, her breathing even. A wave of nausea washed over Ilara. She was an intruder, a ghost in her own skin, a cosmic paradox. She fled, the sheer wrongness of it echoing in her mind. These encounters, especially the last, intensified her desire to stay with Jax. She yearned for the permanence of his world, the comforting reality of his touch. But every morning, she woke up in her own bed, the scent of lavender a cruel reminder of the life she kept leaving behind. How much longer could she keep jumping? And would she ever find her way back to the one place, the one time, where her heart truly belonged?